Would you eat these mushrooms?
I'm Josh, and I'll be going on a run to forage some questionable mushroom species that even science doesn't know much about. And yes, some of them I will be cooking up and eating too, so you don't have to. Also, I would like to say that I cross-reference my mushroom identifications with as many resources as possible and look on a lot of different internet forums and sites for more information to educate myself as maximally as possible, but some of these mushrooms just they haven't been studied. So that's kind of what I'm trying to encourage with these videos, but I do not necessarily recommend going out and finding mushrooms that you're unsure of, because some really can be toxic, and if you're not careful with identification, it can be really dangerous. So hello, I'm in the cemetery because I was inspired by Black Forager's recent videos, and of course I found a mushroom in here. Decomposition in the cemetery? No way. But I think that is a cauliflower mushroom, which is kind of a prized edible mushroom by foragers. So I might harvest this and take it home and study on it and give it a try. Wow, I'm sweating so much on this 90-degree run, but I just found more cool mushrooms. These are Lactarius psammicola, which some people say they're not edible, but some people apparently eat them, so I might give it a try. Oh my god, I'm suffocating, but I am to my final destination, which is this Green Cheese Polypore that my friends told me about, which is why I ran to their house. And I'm very excited to have found this because it's not very well documented or anything, and lately I've just been interested in polypores, so I'm going to do a little bit of research and see what information is out there and maybe try to eat it, but we'll see. I got stuck in the rain at the end of that run. It was a little crazy. I was soaked. But welcome to the next episode of I Try This Mushroom, so you don't have to. And by the way, if I die by eating a poisonous mushroom, that's how I want to go. So just let it be. But this one is kind of confusing because it seems like a tremella kind of has a little bit of a gelatinous texture to it. But it also kind of resembles the cauliflower mushroom because these little nodes are connected. And so let's cut it open. All right, a little bit of a gelatinous texture in there, but some of these nodes are like open. So that kind of precludes some other species, and I'm gonna have to do some more research. But this one has a single base too, so I don't know. Most of those species are not really toxic, found around here in Iowa, but especially if there's no color to these coral fungi, then you're likely much safer than if you find a colored coral fungus. But okay, I weighed out about 9 grams and cooked it up for like 10 minutes. So I'm gonna taste it and we'll see what happens. It kind of smells like pretty good. Crunchy when sauteed for 10 minutes. Kind of flavorless. Really nice texture. Hopefully not poisonous, but it tastes good. I just read something about how there was a woman who ate some death cap mushrooms, and she was like,
yeah, my last meal was like delicious. Mushrooms were so good.
And then she died from death caps, but I don't think these are death caps. The worst it'll give me is like an upset stomach. Probably. Really good. 8 out of 10. No, 7 out of 10, but still good. This pretty thing is probably Lactarius psammicola with a P, which most people don't collect to eat. But there's also not like any opinions anywhere about what it tastes like or what it's like to eat, so I'll probably eat it because it's non-toxic. And it's very pretty. It's called the Lactarius because these little gills, when they break, release a latex. It's kind of hard to see on this one, but... And this one's also not collected too often because you can see the damage to the gills kind of left it an unappealing color pretty quickly. But I don't care, so I'm gonna eat it. So it's the day after I tried that coral fungus slash cauliflower mushroom that I was kind of unsure about exactly what it was. And I had no side effects and it was good, so I'm probably gonna eat the rest of that. And today I'm gonna eat these Lactarius psammicola mushrooms. So I have just a couple of these. So I'm gonna just cook them really well and add them to my eggs this morning. And I'll let you know if I have any side effects from that. All right, they're cooked up for about 10 minutes, just fried in oil with a little bit of salt. Like I said, these I'm like pretty sure I can eat because they had the white latex that was the mild taste. Yeah, so they're not gonna be like toxic. They might just give me some like gastrointestinal distress, but yeah, so let's give it a try. Good. A little bitter. But good. I can see why it's not like a choice edible because of the slight bitterness, but it tastes good. It probably has protein. Decent. I would give it maybe like a 5 out of 10. It's not amazing, maybe a 6. Anything is better when it's fried and with a little bit of salt, but not amazing. Good protein source, probably. I put the rest of the Lactarius psammicola that I cooked in my eggs. Oh, also, I forgot to mention it had a slightly peppery, almost spicy kind of taste to it, which is normal for the Lactarius species. If it was like really spicy or like really extremely bitter, that would probably be more of an indicator that it would be more toxic or cause more stomach distress. But I'm gonna eat the rest of the ones that I cooked in here because they had a mild taste and were pretty decent, so. I just added them to my eggs with a little bit of hot sauce, so let's see how this is. Good. I can still detect a little bit of that bitterness, but otherwise, good. So I ate like 30 grams probably of the Lactarius psammicola, and it was good in my eggs and by itself, and I didn't experience any negative side effects, so. Myth busted. It's edible, but still be careful if you're eating it for yourself and don't do what I do. But definitely not the least, the Green Cheese Polypore, which is turning more green as it's been in the fridge for a day and after I ran with it in my little backpack and it got a little bruised. But with polypores, as long as you're actually identifying polypores correctly, there's really very little risk of toxicity and definitely like little risk of deadliness. The only one that's kind of like you should be worried about is called the cinnamon bracket or the purple dye polypore, which it has a lot of polyporic acid, which is neurotoxic. So there's really one polypore to stay away from that I know of. There's probably more that you wouldn't really want to eat, and there's a lot of really tough ones, but this one feels like pretty tender. Some people have said it tastes like beef liver when cooked up, so I might cook up half of it and we'll see how it tastes. For thicker mushrooms like this, you'll want to cut them really thinly so they can cook more thoroughly and not have a super chewy texture that breaks your teeth out. So this one's kind of pretty and interesting on the inside. It feels like I assume beef liver feels. It's a little squishy. I'm excited. Hello, yummy old friend. In they go. I'm making sourdough too. Oh, some of these mushrooms really be exploding. Gotta clean my oven for that. Are they done yet? Who knows? Not anyone on the internet. I think they're done. Okay, let's give them a try. See them? They look good. Interesting. A little bitter and sour, but like not overwhelmingly so in my opinion. I feel like it's like a good snack. It's not amazing. Maybe like 5 out of 10. I was expecting more from a green cheese polypore. Like, you know how good fried cheese is? I feel like the crunchy ones are really good. Oh, decent. Also, the bitterness might come from some medicinal compounds that polypores are known to have. Like, if you just ate turkey tail straight off the tree, it's really good for you, but it's bitter, which is why you usually take it in like a capsule or a powder. So maybe this has some unstudied medicinal benefits we're not going to know until the scientists actually start studying the mushrooms like this, the understudied mushrooms. But until then, I'm just gonna snack on random stuff. Thanks for joining me for this week's episode of Mushrooms I Try So You Don't Have to. I hope this encourages you to study some different types of mushrooms and kind of learn about the medicinal advantages and deliciousness that they can have, but remember to be safe. Stay tuned, like this video if you actually like it, and subscribe if you want to see more like this of maybe me trying more mushrooms or foraging on runs or whatever it may be. I also might start making some videos about some of my products that I'm going to be putting in my shop on PhiloFolia.com.